ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, dear Prabhujis, we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized. In our last session we read the 45th verse, and now we are reading the 46th verse, another very beautiful verse. Lord Shri Krishna, he is saying to Arjunji, he is continuing and he is saying, यावान अर्थ उत्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः। यावान अर्थ उत्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः। यावान अर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः। So very beautiful verse. Yavan, all that artha is meant. Udapane, in a well of water. Sarvataha, in all respect. Sampluta udake, in a great reservoir of water. Tavan, similarly. Sarveshu, in all. Vedeshu, Vedic Literatures. Brahmanasya, of the man who knows the Supreme Brahman. Vijanataha, of one who is in complete knowledge. All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. यावान अर्थ उत्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So, very important verse in the purport. Swami Shrila Prabhupada writes, the rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedic literature are to encourage gradual development of self-realization. To encourage the gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 15.15. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So, self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7 as follows. Aho bat swapacho ato garyan yad jivagre vartate nama tubhyam tepus tapas te juhuvuhu san Sasnurarya. Brahmanuchur nama grihnati yete. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala, dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only. And one must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulation of the Vedic rituals and the injunctions of the Vedanta and the Upanishads. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar Prakashananda Saraswati why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying the Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master found him to be a great fool, and thus he asked him to chant the holy name of the Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. So, very beautiful verse and very beautiful purport. Lot of concepts in the purport. Swami Srila Prabhupada explained. Yavan arthodapane sarvatah samplutodake. Lord Shri Krishna is saying Yavan artha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu yavan artha, whatever purposes a small pond, udapane, a small pond, whatever purposes a small pond fulfills, all that can be done, all purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoir of water. Samplutodake. Sarvatah samplutodake. Samplutodake, in a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. All the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Tavan sarveshu brahmanasya. So the word Brahmana, man who knows the Supreme Brahman. So Swami Srila Prabhupada, he has always explained, just by taking birth in a Brahmana family, one does not become Brahmana. But there is a chance, since one get all favorable circumstances from the birth. From the birth, one gets all favorable circumstances. So there is a chance that one who takes birth in a Brahmana family, for him it is easy to acquire the position of Brahmana. But who is a Brahmana? A person who knows the absolute truth, Supreme Brahman. Janme jayate Shudra. The Vedic conclusion is Janme jayate Shudra. Everyone by birth is Shudra. Either one take birth in a Brahmana family or in a Kshatriya family or in a Vaishya family or in a Shudra family. Everyone by birth, because everyone is abodha jat. One is born in ignorance completely. One learns everything. A small child, he does not know anything. He learns when he is taught. So janme jayate shudra sanskarat bhavet dvija. Sanskarat. There were various ritualistic ceremonies, sanskaras. 16 sanskara they say. So by performance, when one goes or when one does all those ritualistic ceremonies, then one come to the platform of Dvija or twice born. So one birth by mother and father and another birth by following the Vedic rituals, Vedic sacrifices. So one come to the platform of sanskarat bhavet dvija, twice born, second birth. So janme jayate shudra sanskarat bhavet dvija, ved pathet bhaved vipro. And one who studies or one who has read the Vedas, one who has studied the Vedas, then he becomes Vipra or he comes to the platform of Vipra. And Brahma janati iti Brahmana. That's why Swami Srila Prabhupada is Brahmanasya, of the man who knows the Supreme Brahman. After studying the Vedic literature, if someone has understood the Supreme Absolute Truth, the Supreme Brahman, then one can be called as a Brahmana. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. So all purposes that are served by a small pond can at once be served by the great reservoir of water. So Lord Shri Krishna here he is taking a very good analogy. Small pond. And Swami Srila Prabhupada in his lectures he explained that earlier in India especially there used to be so many wells in a village. One well for drinking water, another well for washing clothes, another well for washing dishes. And if there is a river, then all those purposes, washing clothes, drinking water, washing utensils, can be served by that river. Because Swami Srila Prabhupada he explained, and in his lectures he explained, stagnant water can get contaminated, but flowing water is always pure. So anyways, Lord Shri Krishna here he is taking this analogy that all purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoir of water. If there is a great reservoir like a river, then river can do all that work or can fulfill all those requirements which a pond can do. So Lord Shri Krishna he is taking that example or analogy just to explain that people they do not understand the purpose behind the Vedas. They do not understand the purpose behind the rituals and sacrifices, various rituals and sacrifices, austerities and penances mentioned in the Vedas. What is the purpose behind them? And Lord Shri Krishna is saying, Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Brahmana, real Brahmana, who understands the absolute truth, he knows what is the real purpose of all the rituals and sacrifices and austerities and penances mentioned in the Vedic literatures. So people in this age, especially in this age, or those who are less intelligent, but especially in this age of Kali, it is said, Manda Subandha Matayo Manda Bhagya. Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya. People in this age, they are very much low in intelligence because of this fallen age, and because people in this age, they are more or less interested only in sense gratification, bhoga and ashwarya, and they want to enjoy, they are after temporary enjoyment, so they do not give value to concepts. They become attached only to the theory and they do not give value to the concepts. Ved Vad Ratha. That's why Lord Shri Krishna earlier he explained Ved Vad Ratha. Ved Vad Rataha. So called followers of the Vedas. So they do not understand. So all the Vedic rituals, Swami Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, all the Vedic rituals, all the sacrifices which are meant, which are mentioned in the scriptures are actually meant for gradually elevating one to the platform of self-realization. By practicing these rituals and sacrifices, one gradually elevate himself to the spiritual platform, as we understood in the previous purports also. So self-realization is the goal. And Swami Srila Prabhupada says that in the 15th chapter, 15th verse, Lord Shri Krishna, he himself says, Sarvasya chaham hridaya sannavishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarver aham eva vedya vedant krit ved vid cha eva aham. So Lord Shri Krishna, he will confirm this fact that I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance and forgetfulness. Sarvasya chaham cha aham hridaya sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes remembrance, forgetfulness, and vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedant krit ved vid cha eva aham. I am the author, I am the compiler of all the Vedas, and the purpose of the Vedas is to understand me. Lord Shri Krishna will explain that, will confirm that in the forthcoming chapter after showing his Vishwarupa. After revealing to Arjunji that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then Lord Shri Krishna will accept that I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness, and the purpose of the Vedas is to understand me. Vedescha sarver. The purpose of all the Vedas is to understand Lord Shri Krishna, or to get back one's original consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit. And I am the compiler of the Vedas. I am the author of the Vedas, knower of the Vedas, original compiler. Vedanta krit ved vid cha eva aham. And in the 15th chapter, Swami Srila Prabhupada wrote, the living entities are The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned. Self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. And the relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter. So in the 15th chapter, Lord Shri Krishna says, Mavayvamsha jiva loke jivbhuta sanatanaha manashashthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Mamayvamsha, Lord Shri Krishna will confirm that every living entity is his part and parcel. And they are struggling manashashthani indriyani. They are struggling with six senses, mind, which includes the mind in this material world. They are struggling very hard for existence. Though they are part, so every living entity, though we all of us, we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but we are struggling in this material world with our six senses, which include the mind, which is the center of the five Jnanendriya. So, Mana Shashthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. The rituals and the sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedic literature are to encourage gradual development of self-realization. That is the purpose. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidanand Vigraha Nadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karan Karanam. He is the primeval cause of everything, cause of all causes. So that is the purpose behind all the rituals and sacrifices, which is not known to everyone. But those who are intelligent, those who give value to concepts, those who are not only interested in the theory, those who are intelligent, those who understand the concept, or those who are able to understand the concept of Brahmana. He is a Brahmana. Brahmana is a person who is able to understand the absolute Brahman. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. So a Brahmana, a real Brahmana, or a person in real knowledge, he knows what is the purpose of all the tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. All the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one, all the purposes, sarveshu vedeshu, one who knows the purpose behind them, one who knows the purpose. So the real purpose is self-realization, God realization, revival of one's original Krishna consciousness, revival of one's original consciousness, eternal consciousness, God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, because God, Supreme God, Krishna is the Supreme God, primeval cause of all causes. And every living entity in his liberated state is God conscious. And because in liberated state one is God conscious, he knows very well his relationship with the Supreme Lord, that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and it is the duty of it is duty of all part and parcels, all parts and parcels, to serve the Supreme Whole. That is one's duty. Swami Srila Prabhupada always explains, each bodily limb is meant to serve the body. Hand is meant to serve the body, legs are meant to serve the body. So each part and parcel of the whole is meant to serve the whole. But because we are forgetful of our eternal constitutional identity, our original consciousness, so we are busy in all material activities for sense gratification, because of which we are unsatisfied and unhappy. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Swami Srila Prabhupada took one very beautiful reference. Aho bat swapacho atagaryam. Aho bat, oh how glorious. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto, Mother Devhuti, after understanding, after getting self-realization by Lord Kapila, who himself is the Supreme Personality, an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. So after becoming self-realized, Mother Devhuti, she is praising, she is saying, Aho Bat, oh how glorious, Swapacho, dog eaters, Swapacho Atagaryan, even dog eaters become worshipable. In this material world, we see dog eaters, they are condemned. But even dog eaters become worshipable. Yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam. Yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam. If they chant Jivagre, if on the tip of their tongue your holy name exists, those who chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, they become worshipable even if they are dog eaters. And she is explaining, Mother Devhuti, she is explaining, Te Pustapas, they have performed all austerities, all penances in their previous lives. Te Jujuhuha, Juhubuhua, they have done all sort of fire sacrifices. Sasnur, they have taken bath in all the holy rivers. All the pilgrimages, they have taken holy bath in their previous life, Arya, and they have all the good manners of Aryans. Brahmanuchur, they have studied all the Vedas, or they know Brahma, they know the Supreme Absolute Truth, they have sufficiently studied all the Vedas. Nam Grihnati Ete, one who chants your holy name. So, oh my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala, dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization, is situated on the highest platform. Anyone who is chanting your holy name is actually situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So that is the conclusion of all the Vedic literature. That is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So Swami Srila Prabhupada is requesting, so one must be intelligent enough to understand the purposes of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only. And one must not desire to be elevated to heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. As we saw in the previous verses, that is each and everyone's goal in this material world. We want to acquire riches. We want to have Aishwarya, and we want to gratify our senses to the best possible extent. But here Swami Srila Prabhupada is requesting, no, one must be intelligent enough to understand the purposes of the Vedas, purpose of the Vedas, without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. And Swami Srila Prabhupada, he also explained the purport that in this age, we do not have time. We do not have time, we do not have energy, We do not have resources to follow the rules and regulations of all the Vedic literatures, Upanishads, Vedanta. It is not possible, especially in this age of Kali, because the lifespan is very, very less. There are 4 Vedas, then there are 108 Upanishads, and in this age of Kali, people are not well versed, and as such, there are not many teachers or real Brahmanas who understand the meaning of or the purposes, or who can explain. So, in this age of Kali, in Satyuga, the lifespan was 1 lakh years. In Treta Yuga, it was 10,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, it was 1000 years. Now, in the Kali Yuga, it is at max one can live for 100 years. So, one do not have time, and one cannot, because in this age of Kali, people are so fallen, and it is very, very difficult for all of us to perform various austerities and penances, simple austerities which Swami Srila Prabhupada proposed: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, and chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. Even that is very difficult for people in this age of Kali. So that's why Swami Srila Prabhupada, he is saying, it is not possible for common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulation of the Vedic rituals and injunctions of the Vedas and Upanishads. It requires much time, energy, knowledge and resources to execute the purpose of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. So, as Swami Srila Prabhupada explained, in this age of Kali, the only sacrifice which is very, very easy, the yajna which is very, very easy to perform, japa yajna, yajnanam japa yajnasmi, Lord Shri Krishna will confirm in the Bhagavad Gita. Among all the sacrifices, he is chanting of the holy names of the Lord, and that's why Lord Shri Krishna, he himself incarnated as the deliverer of the fallen souls. Swami Srila Prabhupada wrote in the purport, the only sacrifice which is mentioned in this age for self-realization is chanting of the holy names of the Supreme Lord. Just by chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord, one can get all spiritual perfection. And that's why Lord Shri Krishna, he himself incarnated as the deliverer of the fallen soul, because in this age of Kali, everyone is fallen. Janme jayate Shudra, as we understood. So sanskaras, rituals and sacrifices, Vedic rituals and sacrifices are not performed in families, and hence nobody is Dvija or twice born in real sense. Nobody knows the purpose of the Vedas, and it is very, very difficult to study all the Vedas and Upanishads and to follow their rules and regulations, to study the Vedanta. It requires much time, energy. So in this age of Kali, Lord Shri Krishna, he himself, because he is very, very compassionate, every living entity is his part and parcel, he will confirm in the forthcoming chapter, and he is very compassionate. He is very, very compassionate towards every living entity. Being the Supreme Father, being the Super Soul, he is very, very compassionate, and he wants to deliver all the fallen souls of this age. And for their deliverance, Lord Shri Krishna, he himself incarnated as Lord Chaitanya, and he requested, he propagated the chanting of holy names of the Supreme Lord. And Swami Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned in the purport, that when Lord Chaitanya incarnated at that time, there was one great Vedantist, knower of Vedanta philosophy, Vedanta, the final conclusions of the Vedas. So there was a great Vedantist, Prakashananda Saraswati, and he asked Lord Chaitanya that why you are chanting the holy names of the Lord like a sentimentalist, and why you are not reading the Vedanta philosophy and propagate that. You are a sannyasi. So Lord Chaitanya, he replied, because Lord Chaitanya knew very well that in this age it is not possible for everyone, but Lord is very, very compassionate for every living entity, and he want to give chance to everyone. He want to give chance to everyone for liberation, because living entities are struggling very hard in this material world. Manashasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. And they are always perplexed, they are always in anxiety, they are always unhappy, and they don't have eternal life. They are changing bodies, but because they are very, especially in this age of Kali, they are not very intelligent. They are only after temporary happiness, and they don't want to make, they are not interested in making a permanent solution to all the problems of life. People in this age, all of us, we are not interested in making a permanent solution to all the problems of life. That's why Lord Chaitanya, he incarnated. Lord Shri Krishna, he incarnated as Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of the fallen souls. And so he told Prakashananda Saraswati that my spiritual master, Swami, a great fool. So actually, he in one sense, Lord Chaitanya told that everyone in this age, they are not very intelligent to understand Vedanta philosophy. And he said that my spiritual master has requested me to chant holy name, but when I chant holy name, I develop all sentiments for the Supreme Lord. For the Supreme Lord, Hari, Krishna, automatically all sentiments, they arise in my heart. So all the purposes, tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. So Swami Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport that one who chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, and as it is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, has actually reached the highest stage of self-realization. And just by chanting holy names of the Supreme Lord, one can get all perfection, spiritual perfection. One can revive his relationship with the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna. That's why Swami Srila Prabhupada wrote in the purport that one who is chanting, he is the highest Vedantist. One who enjoys or one who takes pleasure in chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord, he is the highest Vedantist. And Lord Shri Krishna, he is the compiler and author of all the Vedic knowledge. And it is that is the purpose of all the Vedic wisdom or knowledge, to understand the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna, one's relationship with Him, one's eternal identity and occupation, and to revive one's original consciousness, eternal consciousness, Krishna consciousness. And that's why Swami Srila Prabhupada, he, in the last line he wrote, that is the secret, or that is the ultimate purpose of all the Vedic mysticism. So Vedas is a mystery. People want to know what is the real purpose. So that is the purpose of all the Vedic mysticism. The best purpose of Vedic literature is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master found him to be a great fool, And thus he has asked him to chant the holy name of the Lord Krishna. Holy name of Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. So in this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy names of the Lord. Very important concept. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, or the final conclusion or essence. But it is not possible for us in this age to understand the Vedanta philosophy. So the best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. And the author and the knower of Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. That is the purpose of all Vedic mysticism. So very beautiful verse. यावान अर्थ उत्पाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu. So it is very, very important to understand the purpose of all the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, of all the Vedic sacrifices, austerities, penances and rituals. And the real purpose is self-realization, God realization, understanding the self, understanding the Supreme Self, and understanding the Supreme Lord, and re-establishment of one's relationship, one's lost relationship. We are forgetful. In the conditioned state, we are forgetful of our relationship, and we have become, or we have acquired this stage because we wanted to fulfill our material desires. So revival of one's original consciousness, eternal consciousness, Krishna consciousness, that is the goal or of all the Vedic wisdom, Vedic rituals, sacrifices. All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So very beautiful verse and very beautiful purport, and so many concepts in the purport. So with this I would like to stop here, and in our next session we will take up another verse, next verse, and try to understand the concept through the beautiful purports of Swami Srila Prabhupada. So Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajacharya Shrotrashat Shri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji Ki Jai. All glories to His Divine Grace Krishna Kripa Murti Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Lord Shri Krishna, all glories to Bhagavad Gita, all glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Holy Name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.